Addressing the nation on television on Friday night, President Jacob Zuma insisted he had not deliberately failed to uphold the constitution and attributed his action to a different approach and different legal advice.
I never knowingly or deliberately set out to violate the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the Republic. The finding by the court that my failure to comply with the remedial action taken against me by the public protector is inconsistent with the Constitution and therefore invalid, flows from the fact that I initially followed a different approach. While correct in law at the time, the approach was subsequently demonstrated to be contrary to the Constitution.
President Zuma then apologized.
With hindsight, there are many matters that could have been handled differently and which should never have been allowed to drag on this long, which we deeply regret. The matter has caused a lot of frustration and confusion, for which I apologize on my behalf and on behalf of government.
Zuma urged all affected parties to abide by the judgment and implement it. The ruling party, the ANC, moved swiftly to rally behind its president.
The ANC is convinced that there was no intention on the part of the president, as he himself has said, and the ANC members in parliament to deliberately act inconsistently with the Constitution. We have thus noted, welcome and appreciate the apology by the president to the nation.
The Constitutional Court judgment has opened a debate about the possibility of impeachment of the president, and the opposition parties have been riding that wave. But the ANC says the opposition parties are overreacting.
The call for impeachment is nothing new, nor is it genuine. It is an ongoing election platform ploy resuscitated every single year by the opposition in the form of either a vote of no confidence or now the impeachment call.
In a few months, the country will be holding local government elections, and observers believe that this episode won't necessarily adversely affect the ruling party at the polls.
Has got a complex implications regarding the elections. If the ANC decided to recall the president, the opposition party will not stop their assault at the ANC. And I think the challenge is for the ANC to stay strong as they are going into election, to maintain a common front and try to explain this to the nation. I think that if they take the nation in their confidence, irrespective of how much damage this has caused already, if they go back to ordinary communities and talk to different classes within society as to what has happened and what the ANC aims to do, that might deal with how this issue will impact upon the performance of the party during election.
South Africans have varying views about the president's apology.
Well, after the apology, I feel like, he should be forgiven.
As an ordinary South African, I don't give him a forgiveness. I don't think he deserves it, because we are suffering out there. We are not working, we are not employed, and he used the money to build his mall, whatever. Yeah, so I don't give him a forgiveness.
I think we just need to forgive him and then just move on.
Imagine how much that money could have helped towards school, towards fees must fall, towards everything, and we go and we build him a house, and then all he says is I'm sorry at the end after laughing it off for so long.
He should resign, obviously. We must get somebody else, somebody who knows how to run the country. Because of him, the dollar rate came down. We're running it. Okay, the dollar rate is down. Then we got a problem with droughts. What has he done? Anything about that? I mean, everything is going down over and over.
The ruling party is due to hold an extended National Working Committee meeting on Monday to decide on the president's future. Yolisa, Njamela, CCTV, Johannesburg, South Africa.